Welcome to another episode of the A.K.A podcast. A.K.A the podcast where we ask questions like how many second place finishes will equate to one prem? When will Adam when will Adam Silver trade Giannis to the Lakers? And has Man U found their manager? So Muhammad, what do you think? Another second place finish, successful season?
Bro, honestly, just give me all the second finishes in the world, bro. Allah, it'll make my day,
Yeah,
innit?
you're
For
happy
Nah,
with
bro.
that?
context, regardless, Mohammed, of course, being an Arsenal fan, we decided to bring him on. And probably the only, I don't know if there's a worse part of the season we could have brought him on. Like, any other time, he'd be coming on a high,
Bro,
except
by
for,
the way,
Yeah.
first loss
Well,
at
that's why
home,
we brought him on. That's why we brought him on.
first loss at home at the Emirates, first time conceding 3 goals in the Prem. Like, it's like worst possible time to bring on an Arsenal fan.
yeah.
But that's
I
why
mean,
we
like,
brought him
that-
on, right? You're acting
Yeah,
like
that's
this was a
really
mistake.
quick.
You're
You
acting
need
like
content, man. You're not gonna bring
Exactly.
me in when we smash people 4-1.
Yeah, that's boring. Just see you celebrate. Like, come on.
moving on from 2 draws and a loss now. What would it take for Arteta to get replaced, Mohammed? Is there a
Straight
situation
off
where
the
we see
bat.
Arteta out here? Is there a situation we see him out of the club?
I mean, I told someone this already. Like, for me, I think is, bro, if we sack him, right, it's just gonna like send us back to square one. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
have a new manager.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to like find a way to get consistency. He needs to find his formation, his players, which is
Or
in
you
my
could be,
opinion.
or you
Yeah,
could be like Man U, dude. You sack a few managers and you finally find the right one.
nah.
That's a different conversation on if we believe it's the
Yeah.
right one. But staying on
I
the
mean,
topic of even like this Arteta thing, it's like I can't help but like feel the way we can categorize Arteta's like tenure during with Arsenal as a successful project, but not a success, at least as it stands. Like they've successfully made Arsenal a great club. Like again, he successfully made them a competitive club
The
again.
only success, I know what you mean, the only success in sports is championships, and you guys have none. Nothing to show for it.
They have an FA Cup and a Community Shield.
That's true.
yo,
You guys had
honestly,
FA Cups before Arteta.
Yeah,
honestly, you don't
more.
understand. The Arteta FA Cup win, bro. It brought tears to my eye, wallahi, bro. It gave me. It was emotional time, bro.
You
We
were
had
still with
Bellerin,
the
we
cup.
had Nicolas Pepe balling, bro. Allah, he sold me a dream, this guy.
Okay, so there is no situation you sack Arteta?
I think, I mean, if he doesn't win anything this year, I understand why they would sack him. Like, I know, because, like if he wins the FA Cup and Carabao and he just somehow misses both of the big ones, I think they'll give him one more year just because now he has like a full squad. Like, he
Yeah,
has
I mean,
with depth.
yeah, I mean, my biggest thing with Arteta, which is like, okay, you haven't won a Premier League. Like Arsenal aren't like a team that constantly wins Prems. Like the last time they won it was the Invincibles, no? Like it's been a very long time since they last won the Prem. Never won a Champions League.
Mohammed, how
So
old
I'm
are
not
you?
even. That's not even the straw that I have, or like my problem with Arteta. My bigger one is like, you know what? We looked past the fact that you keep getting knocked out of these FA Cups and Carabao Cups because they kept saying, "Oh, it's for the Prem. Don't worry, we're trying to like make our schedule smaller and shorter. So it's for the Prem. It's for the Champions League." But then if you don't even win those cups, like okay, yeah, the COVID FA Cup, like it was nice, it was vibes, but that's it, you know. Like we can't keep
I
going on
mean,
about.
but like, even if let's say they won another FA Cup or two over the last however many years, do you really think that would have made such a big difference to the fan base? I feel like at some point, like even Barcelona, when they start winning Spanish cups, like they've won the most Spanish cups in history. At some point, I'm like, even the league, I'm like, let's get some Champions League. But obviously, that's because
See,
La
see,
Liga.
that's because La Liga, but also you're comparing Barcelona to Arsenal. Like no disrespect, right? No disrespect, but
No, I was
haven't
gonna say
I
the
feel
same
like
thing.
people forget FA Cup wins though. The Premier League, everyone knows who wins the Premier League.
my point is more like then you have much more of a backbone to stand on, and also like a winning culture helps, dude. Like right now, the way I feel with Arsenal is that it's not actually a footballing issue. I actually feel like recently I've been seeing them playing scared. Like I feel like the moment is getting to them. Like it's not just talk and like they're losing some points here and there. I truly believe that like they feel the media pressure, they feel the fact that they're bottling like these 3 games, and it's like such a weird area where they're 7 points ahead, so they're like, guys, let's relax, let's not have too much urgency. But then at the same time, they're dropping points,
Okay,
and
but
you know,
what I want to say as well is now this might be maybe I'm giving too much credit to Arsenal in this case, but I do feel like the stretch of games that has just happened, the draw to Liverpool. I mean, of course, in between they've had the Champions League wins, they've had the wins against Chelsea. But like I'm saying, if you look at purely the Premier League, because that's like what we believe that they're bottling at the moment, you're looking at the draw to Liverpool, a draw to Nottingham, and the loss to Man U, and I feel like all three of them like isolated like incidents. It doesn't look as bad at the time. Like the Liverpool game, Liverpool genuinely looked great, and they had just picked up like the smallest bit of form, and like I thought Liverpool looked good that game. No, like I thought like Frimpong was on fire, for example.
I thought they made them look good. Like I think in the context, like Liverpool, bro, for me, like that's the game where they gotta win. This year, Liverpool are not Liverpool. Like you
Yeah, I
saw
get
them
that,
the
but
last.
Liverpool are not Liverpool against these trash teams. Like that's Liverpool's categorized season is that they because they're doing well in the Champions League. Liverpool kind of categorized their season by failing against the smaller teams. So I don't like again when draw and then Nottingham. Sean Dyche is the manager.
Come on, Nottingham.
No,
Nottingham,
no,
they're
no.
seven.
When Sean Dyche is the manager, sometimes a nil-nil happens, and you can't tear it down to something. And then the loss to Man U, whether or not you want to say Carrick is the right manager for them or not, factually it's a honeymoon period, and you're also coming up against Man U at the worst time possible. Like I think Arsenal have fallen into a line of fixtures that's also coming at the worst time possible.
Yeah, they haven't had any like abysmal losses, to be fair. And so I think that this might be an overreaction, but I think it comes from the fact that we've seen this happen in prior seasons. You know, they're like knocking on the door and they're so close to actually getting through. And I think if you have that happen enough times, eventually the pressure starts getting to you. You start noticing the signs of it and you don't want it to happen again. You just want to break through.
I mean, for me, and I want to get Mohammed's opinion on this. I think Karam gave like way too much like of a leniency to like Arsenal on this run. Like for me, I think they should have slapped Liverpool finally. Like every season, it was at home by the way, and every season we're always like, you know what, they can draw to Liverpool and City, like it's fine. But this season of all seasons, bro, I saw Van Dijk, bro. He was twerking against Bournemouth. You get me? Like he was back to twerking, and like you couldn't capitalize on that abysmal like Liverpool defense. By the way, for context, Arsenal my second favorite team. So I don't want to be saying this, right? Nottingham Forest, these guys are giving West Ham a chance. That's how bad they've been this season.
Yeah, but bro, like Sean Dyche against big teams. I'm an Everton fan. Look at this. Look what I'm wearing. I know what he does. This is what he does. Like
But
this is literally what he does. Like it's
like
not that.
for me, and it also comes with the fact that Villa had dropped points and City had dropped points, so they had not been able to capitalize on that. And like the whole thing, like for me, feels like a bottle, to be honest. And there's even clips of like Rice. I think it was during the Forest game where he goes like
Yeah.
every effing time. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So there is like an
I think
element
it's
of
too
like,
early. I think that if Arsenal had not bottled, my point was that if Arsenal had not bottled in past seasons, like if we hadn't seen it before, then I don't think we'd be reacting like this to the last 3 games because this is also the Premier League. Like, yeah, you can say like, oh, this team's out of form, this team's in form, whatever. It's any given Sunday, you know, in the Premier League. Any team can beat any other team on any day.
Yeah, and if you're looking at their upcoming fixtures, they've got in the Prem, it's Leeds, Sunderland, Brentford. And when you look at those 3 games, it's like now if you lose points in any of those 3 games, especially considering Sunderland earlier in the season would be considered like a tough game, now they're not. They're sliding down the table. Everton are about to jump them. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that says a lot.
yeah. I mean,
But
that's when we'll figure out for sure.
that's what we'll figure out. But like,
What do you
Mohammed,
think?
if I say, what's your prediction for the upcoming game against Leeds? What would you say?
Is it
Are
away or
you
at
like a
home?
pessimist or are you an optimist?
It's at Ellen Road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be honest.
I look. We have to win. Realistically, we don't have much of a choice. Like, if we
Listen,
don't win,
all I'm saying is you just need to go to the Emirates every single game. Because when Mohamed was at the Emirates, they won 4-1 against Villa. Like, and that game, you thought categorized them to be like they're not bottling it. They're doing the exact
Bro,
thing they need.
honestly, bro, I watched Odegaard ball out. Wallah, I was crying. I was literally like, in my head, I was like, this is the guy right here. And then we just absolutely sold it against Liverpool United at home. But
So
yeah, I
of those
mean,
three fixtures coming up, Leeds, Sunderland, Brentford.
mm,
So I think Brentford's also away, but
mm.
Sunderland's at home. Which one of those three games do you think is the most dangerous for you guys
For
to
me,
drop
it's I mean Brentford, bro. Like genuinely, they're under the radar right now. People just don't look at them like as a strong team, but it's like they're like almost in Europe, bro. Like they're
Yeah,
fighting
they're
and
currently eighth, and
yeah,
they're only 3 points, 4 points off Chelsea.
bro. Like bear in mind, like they're almost relegation at the beginning of the season. Now they're like making a push for it, and like always, bro. Like the G community, like that stadium. I'm like, bro. I still remember when they first got promoted, and Arteta was like just like coming into the league, and they bent us over, bro. I'm gonna be real. Like it was a shambles. It gives me trauma to this day when we go there. So like,
Mohammed, I have a question for you. I feel like it would be unfair if we brought an Arsenal fan on here and we didn't ask about the star boy, Saka. What do you think about his season so far?
Man's
I
always
think
been overrated.
overall, the entire season, he has like 7 GA, I think.
By the way, Ahmed's
yeah,
calling him overrated, so I want to hear
He's
what you're
always been
thinking.
overrated. He has 8 GA this season in 21
KG.
games. He had 16 last season, so he's on track. No, he only played 25 games last season. He was
maybe
injured.
also your opinion on Arteta playing him on left wing. Like he switched sides at some point. It was strange.
yeah. I mean, the whole like the substitutions yesterday. I was kind of confused by a lot of them. Like I know he moved Timber to the left. Like I guess he doesn't trust Skelly, so he brought in Ben White. And Ben White was a shambles the whole game when he came on. He was useless. But Saka, like, he's underperformed. I'd say all of the attackers, other than Trossard, who's been like our most consistent like forward, I'd say, has been underperformed. Like, just like Salah as well. Like, I know this is not an excuse for Gyökeres. He's been horrible this season, right? Like, I'll take a stand on that. But there's a lot of times where like there's a lot like he's always making a run in behind, and his automatic option is to cut in and try to like bend it around in the corner. I'm like, bro, just try to like play a quick pass, kind of move it fast. Like I know like there's a lot of teams like Chelsea, for example, like on the counter, they just got people running, bro. They just got people like moving quick. So like Saka, if I see someone like Gyökeres, who's like his best attribute is just running in behind and finding that space, wallah, he'd score a lot more goals. So like he needs to kind of pattern up, bro. Especially he's like one of the captains as well. So
Yeah,
we'll see if he does it. If he doesn't, bro, like, it's not. I don't know if we're gonna win.
and I feel like looking more specifically, because I don't think we talked too much about the Man U game in specific. Like, what do you think went wrong? Like, because listen, I'll be honest. Looking at the goals, both Arsenal goals, pretty jammy, pretty like disgusting, and then Man U goals. But at the same time, Man U goals aren't like, listen, they're doing well in tight spaces, but they also had some worldies. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you can't stop
The Dorgu
those.
goal
You
and
just
stuff like
can't.
that. But like, where do you think it went wrong in terms of like the entire game? You know?
I mean, from the beginning, like we started off on the right foot. Like we got an own goal from Lissandro. Like that was our like opportunity to just kind of put a stamp on the game,
By the way, on goal, I think you're tapping second top scorer this season on goal.
bro. Bro, you should have seen me when I was watching that Wolves game. We had two own goals to save our season, bro.
Yeah,
Wallah, I was losing it. I was making dua, bro. I was actually like, it was horrible.
yeah,
But yeah, like when they got that goal, I was like, okay, we need to like go for it. Like just don't sit back. Like if we let United just go on the counter, which they did, they just score. Like they know what they're doing. Like their forwards, they are good enough to play on the counter and just score any goal they want to. So I felt like we were complacent. Like we just kind of held back and we didn't want to go for it. That's why like I don't know, like there's some players I just don't feel like they have that killer instinct. That's
Yeah,
the
and I
annoying
mean,
part.
like, thoughts on Zubimendi?
Yeah, I had a horror show. I can't lie. He's
Yeah,
been he's been one of our more like consistent players this year. Like,
yeah.
I love Zubimendi. I think he's class. But that game, he sold it. He sold the goal, and it gave them hope. That's the thing. When you give a team hope, the
Yeah.
game's open now. Like you just can't control like what happens unless you do something. even like, I mean, I felt just offensively, maybe we could have made changes slightly earlier. Just because, like, if you're not gonna find any solutions, just kind of, change the game up a bit, make United like work for it. But it's like after that Dorgu goal, bro, I can't lie, like all the players just kind of felt deflated. Like they felt like, the game's done. Even though it's like they scored like within like 6 minutes of the second half. Obviously it's a worldly, but it's like you gotta like go for it. Like even what I saw when Cunha scored the second, another worldly obviously. He started to like put his face and like on the verge of tears. Like it's not over. Like just go for it. Stuff
Yeah.
like that, like it doesn't give optimism for like us
Yeah, I mean
fans.
that's kind of what I was referring to about Arsenal. I felt like didn't have like this sense of urgency, almost like they want to show that they're nervous. It's a bit
Mm,
strange. It's like they want to act like everything's all good, but no, bro. Like at some point you gotta like go for it. Like in those last few minutes,
yeah,
especially. But
yeah.
something else I wanted to ask you, Mohammed, is how do you feel about Eze's lack of prominence, especially in like the second half of the season? Because for
Mhm.
me, yeah, especially the way he started, and then also uh, when they bought him in the summer, I felt like
Mm,
for me, it felt like a game changer. Like I felt like your window was
yeah,
complete. Like I feel like this is kind of like a game changer that they were missing in the team. Like you added a whole new layer to your squad, and then he kind of essentially like went missing second half of the season. Arteta just stopped giving him minutes. Like how do you feel about that whole as a situation?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Eze, like he started off obviously after the Tottenham game, he was going off. Then Odegaard also he was going on a form as well. Like he played well against Bournemouth away. He played against Villa at home as well, pretty good. Like he had a run of form as well. So like, I guess like when Eze kind of dipped, he brought in Odegaard and he was consistent. So like it's just kind of him. Like I guess Arteta wants him to fight for his place. But it's like having that like rotation between two cams, they play in different ways. You know what I mean? So all it does, it makes it harder, I guess, for the the players to kind of like know what they're getting themselves into every game because they don't know who's gonna like play where and like how the balls are gonna get distributed to them. Like there's always gonna be some sort of like puzzle they have to figure out. But it's like it's kind of hard. I feel for Eze because like he knows he's not going to be starting every game. Like there's going to be like he came into this team knowing that he's going to have to fight for a spot, and like this is kind of like what he signed up for. Like it's just like how the team is. Like it's just so much depth. You can't just put him into the team straight away and drop our captain. So
Yeah,
I,
I think
yeah, and I also was gonna ask about, in general, is there a major tactical decision that like or player that Arteta's playing? Like, is there some change you would want to see in the lineup at the moment, or something different? And also, on top of that, is there a signing you would have liked to see Arsenal do that you feel like they need at this moment in the season? We're now coming to the close of the transfer window.
no more excuses, Mohammed. There's no transfers.
no,
You got your striker.
genuinely.
You got your center back, you got your right back, you got your cam, bro. There's nothing left, bro.
No, like there's genuinely there isn't any excuses. Like I just think they lack that killer instinct. Like these players, when they're up front, I just feel like they don't want to
Yeah.
like go at someone. Like yesterday, like I saw like players like Patrick Dorgu actually trying to just go at the defense. You know what I mean?
By the way,
Yeah,
Like,
but
baller. I can't lie, baller. Bale
Baller,
Reed. Bale
bro,
Reed.
baller. He said I had to shoot it.
bro,
He said I
yeah,
had to shoot it. He deemed that. That's
but
killer
who's
instinct, by the way. If you put Dorgo up top for you lot, maybe you guys would be winning these games. Like genuinely.
bro, like he woke me up. Well, I was in my head. I was just like chilling on my bed for a bit, and I see the ball hit the crossbar. I'm like, what the hell was that? Like, that's a left back, bro.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
who
don't you? Yeah, go ahead. Go
who's
ahead.
like you're saying that there's no sense of urgency, right, in the team. But it's not like you guys have signed players that have that kind of a profile, right? So
Mm.
whose fault is that? I mean, you have to put the blame on the manager, right? That it's his responsibility. And the fact that he hasn't been able to get this sense of urgency, at the end of the day, the players are going to replicate what they see from their manager.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And the thing is, like, a lot of the players we signed this year, like, we signed two attackers this year. We signed Madueke, who comes off the bench, and honestly, he's been superb. I think, like, for his role, he comes on, he gives the attack a bit of like energy when he needs to. obviously Gyökeres like is not working out, but it's like it is the first season. Like I'm not gonna obviously he's not playing great, but we signed him just to score goals. That's the only reason we signed him. So if he doesn't score goals within the next year or the year after, obviously there's some sort of problem with him. Because Anna, like for me, like someone that I really liked, like I wish we go for him, not as an excuse. But Barca are also going for him, besides Julian Alvarez, bro. This guy's a baller, bro. Like this guy, like he wants to go at your defense and like shoot from
Already trying
far.
to replace your striker's crazy work. I'll be honest. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I
listen,
know. He's already talking about replacing his like what
one thing
80
with
billion.
Gyökeres, I just want to say one thing about Gyökeres. Tell me why he looks like a world class striker that has passed his prime. Like why does he play
Already.
like
He
that?
looks Suarez.
He looks like
Suarez,
Suarez. Like why can you tell? Oh, you got good finishing, but you're stiff, bro. He looks like he skipped out on a couple of physical therapies, took a bit of painkillers throughout his career, and now has reached at the age where his knee does not work as strong as it wants to. Like there's something wrong about him. That, like, don't get me wrong. I think he's a bagsman. Like I'm not questioning his ability to score goals, and I think that is what he's made for. And I do agree. There's many times he makes runs that he's not found for, but like, man, brother's just stiff. Like he's just stiff. Like
Yeah,
I feel like in some world, like if I don't know, like maybe you guys got the wrong. Like there's a debate on if Arsenal needed just a scorer or if they needed someone, but then you already have people like Havertz and stuff like that. But you got mandem like Gabriel Jesus coming back, who have looked at times like they can rejuvenate that old form that they have.
Gabriel
Like,
Jesus.
is there a world you
Come
drop
on.
Gyökeres for like a Gabriel Jesus if he continues
I mean,
form?
Gyökeres doesn't really start, does he?
no, he does, bro. He actually starts. It's just like he's not been performing enough. Like let's just be honest. But the thing is, the only good thing that he's done is that because he's so physical, like all the defenses know that like if he gets the ball, they're gonna like push him off, and he creates space for other players, which is obviously like a good thing to do as a striker. But obviously he needs to score goals. It's like my thing is if you're gonna give space for players, these guys need to score as well. So I don't know. It's a weird dynamic. I just feel like he's just not like he's just not
Doesn't
playing
really
up to
fit
his
in.
standard. I think he's lost all his confidence.
I also want to touch on the point that Ahmed brought up about like there's like a lack of urgency, and does that come from the manager? And to be honest, I felt this a lot also with like honestly lots of Pep teams where they almost try to like walk the ball into the net, right? It's like you lose a bit of that like individual like brilliance from a player where they just feel like they can like whack it from like outside the box or something like that. And I do think that's kind of like the trade-off with Arteta's playstyle, and you probably need like a more of a balance with that, you know, like where you give like the players the opportunity to also like express themselves a bit, you know.
Yeah.
What it is an element of stubbornness too. And Guardiola, we know he can be stubborn and sometimes overthinks the situation and can get himself into some trouble, like in previous Champions League campaigns. So I mean, I think it's fine to have a play style, but at the end of the day, if sometimes you just need players to just like go at it, and just like be more direct. And I feel like Arteta is preaching this approach of like we're not going to change who we are uh, throughout the course of the game or even
Yeah,
throughout the
listen,
course of the season.
I completely agree, but we also can't forget like they are still top of the Prem. They are still 7-0, 7 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses within the Champions League. And maybe this style that Arteta is employing, based off even last year's Champions League, of the way they were even able to shut out teams once they went up, like they did with Real Madrid whenever we thought Real Madrid was going to do a comeback. It's like they are low-key. It starts to feel like they are more built for a maybe even a Champions League type of run, in the knockout games where they're able to shut down defensively. And guess what? They okay, maybe the Man U game does not represent it as well, but in general, besides this Man U game, they don't seem to be like suffering defensively. But I think this Arsenal team just keeps reminding me of like I don't explain it like a machine that requires all parts to function 100% of the
Yeah.
time at 100%
But that is Pep Guardiola teams, right? Why did Arteta take? I mean, they stuck with him and it ended up working out. But why did it take so long for the team to finally come together and to actually compete for prems and stuff. It's because to play the play style that Guardiola wants to play, that Arteta learned from Guardiola, you need the exact right profiles and you need the ideal players. Man City can afford to pay X amount for whatever players they need, and Arsenal cannot. And so, I mean, now recently they've been
Like, I don't fully
they've been trying to
agree.
break through.
I don't fully agree that Arteta is copying Pep Guardiola. I think early Arteta was copying Pep Guardiola. I think over time we have seen Arteta employ more defensive tactics over time that does not really remind me of Pep Guardiola.
What I'm trying to say is that I think the way that he plays is very idealistic, regardless if it's the exact same style as Guardiola or not. It is this idealistic form where it's like it's great theoretically, but on paper, it depends on the players that you have and the profile of players that you have, and like for example, it's like the exact opposite of like Dyke ball, right? Where it's just like give me any 11 players and I can get them to play my style.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's that's it is what it is. I'm just reminding that like Arsenal are top of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they're in a
doing
good
great
place, which is what I was saying. Like, if it wasn't for previous seasons, then I don't think we would be reacting like this. It's because we've seen it happen before. You know, they've been in this position before.
Bro, you know, everyone asks me, they're like, "Oh, are you gonna win? Are you gonna win?" Every time I tell them, I'm like, "I'm be real. I have too much deja vu to give a prediction, bro. My my
Adab,
mental
torture.
self-esteem is gone."
Adab, bro. Torture. Genuine torture. You know what I mean? Like at some times, I think maybe you might have been more content when you were finishing fourth. You know what I mean? With our
But this is
Wenger.
the
You know what I mean?
question, right? It's like,
Yeah, self.
would you rather compete every year and never break through? You know, like my example would be like this might go over your heads, but like the Niners in football, every year they're in the playoffs. Every year, like they've gone to the Super Bowl a couple times, and every year they're in contention. But then every year ends in disappointment. Versus like if you don't make the playoffs or you're not competing for the top spot or whatever, then you
So
know
Ahmed, let me ask you. I feel like this is a good example. Did you feel better this year than years when Niners made it to the Super Bowl?
I mean, that's a
You
bit
guys
of
never
a
stood a chance.
yeah, it's a bit of a more complicated answer there. Like I don't want to get super into it, but there are injuries and stuff, so the expectations
The
were
way I
pretty
see
low.
it is at the end of the day, like sports is there to like dream. I can't lie. Like I know the disappointment hurts, but at least you're feeling something. The worst thing is not to feel anything, bro. I'm telling
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to
even
have that hope. And
yeah,
maybe you never know. Maybe one day Arteta pulls it off somehow.
By
I
the
don't
way,
know,
just
man. I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like with this Niners example, it's like I every time I think back to those Super Bowls, I feel like pain in my chest because it's like there is something about getting so far and then
Of course.
failing and feeling like your window has now closed. Like Arsenal's window is still open, which is good, but your window has now closed and you missed out on your opportunity. It's like it's a disgusting feeling.
Okay,
Yeah, if
fair
you
enough.
just purely
I
ask
feel I
me,
feel similarly with Jordan, to be honest. But I guess not the same with Barcelona because I feel like with Barcelona we're always gonna have a
The
chance to
window's
get
always
certain.
mm,
open. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
But with Jordan, I feel like maybe low key we already fumbled that,
I love dreaming. I love dreaming with
We
Jordan.
love to
I
dream.
love
We
dream.
love to
Like
dream.
last year when the Rafinha scored, like I would never take away that moment for the world. You know what I mean?
Because
Against
we
the
were eating a shawarma and like I took a bite as he scored and it was just like it was euphoric,
guys. Okay, so I just want to say I don't know why it showed up on my Twitter feed, but I felt it made me feel old. You know, Steiner is now an FC Basel head coach. I don't know why.
No, I was, I
Yeah,
was thinking about this. It's crazy actually how like all these ex players are coaches. Lichtsteiner, Arteta, Rick.
Yes, that's what we're going with it. And what this is what I was trying to lead into it. Wallah, that's what I was trying to do.
There you go.
So, Ahmed, you opened up the question on if
Mhm.
Manchester United found their guy, and I'm starting to feel like you really are following that direction. What do you think? Because you seem pretty.
I think, like honestly, it's just fun to talk about it in that way. But like honestly, there's always going to be the new manager like bounce back. It happens. It happens with most new managers, especially when it's someone who the team respects or has been like a legend of the club, like Carrick. They want to play for him. They want things to be different. Now, whether or not it's actually going to be different in the long term completely depends on how good of a coach he actually is, and that's yet to be seen. So
Listen, no hate to Carrick though, but if Real Madrid players could not respect Xabi Alonso because he wasn't Zidane, how has Carrick gotten these Man
Bro,
U players?
Manchester
Let me
United,
tell you
the current
something.
status of Manchester United, you can't compare to Real Madrid.
Let
Dude.
me
I
tell
know
you something.
legend, like
Michael
club-wise,
Carrick,
maybe.
fam.
Club-wise, maybe, but like these guys, their dignity has been ripped from their souls, bro. These are
And Arsenal
they'll
had to give
follow
them
anyone.
some. Arsenal had to give some charity. You know what
Let
I
me
mean?
tell you something, dude. I think it's more like spite of Amram, if anything. Like they just hated
Yeah,
that.
but that's usually what the new manager bounces like, right?
Right.
You want to prove that it wasn't you, it was the old manager, that things are
Right.
different
Ahmed,
now.
Ahmed, do you
Look,
believe it's
yeah.
just a honeymoon period? Do you think it's just spite of Amram? Do you think it's all this stuff, or do you think today they go give Carrick a contract and say put any number you want on it? Remember when Neville said Solskjaer?
No,
Yeah.
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand said to Solskjaer,
Yeah.
"Listen,
I think
is he the manager?"
I don't I obviously don't know Carrick personally, but I do like his personality and the way that he approaches management. Like just his general personality of like a little bit of a like this like fresh coach kind of
Oh my
demeanor,
god.
you know?
Oh my god. What is
What?
this guy? He wins a couple of games and now he's like, I love his
Bro,
demeanor. What are you talking
this is-
about, bro?
I
It's
do.
deja
He's so
vu.
It's a weird respect he has though, being like Michael
Yeah.
Carrick, about being
Yeah.
like the sound like Manchester United, like reliable. You know,
He's a
because like
skipper,
he
man.
really does define reliable.
Yeah.
Like Solskjaer, being Manchester United, he was like a very on and off the bench, like scorer
Yeah.
back. You're talking
Yeah,
about Michael Carrick, Mr. Reliable. Like that's how I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel about. Like he gives me when I watch him, when I see him on the sideline, I just feel like calm. I don't know why.
Listen.
Let me tell you
The same
something.
way, you'd put Michael Carrick into a starting 11, and you'd be like, "Well, we got that place sorted." Is the same way you could feel about him as manager.
Let me
You
tell
know what?
something.
You know what it
think
is
that-
about Carrick, bro. One last thing though, he
Yeah.
gives me this vibe of like no nonsense, just like very straightforward, just very common sense. You know what I mean? Like not trying to be fancy. He's like the anti-Amarim. That's the vibe I get. So I feel like it could work. You know? I don't know.
Okay, look. I hear all of it. I honestly do. And like Man U fans, well, like go with it. You know, put the contract on the table. You're a fan. Have some fun. And I think Karam touched on it. Like this is a bit different from Solskjaer in the sense like Carrick was always an intelligent player. Like in fact, you could argue that was like his best quality.
He's like
So
a
it's not like-
Guardiola.
So it's not like something is like that surprising that I would say that he's more tactically adaptable than Solskjaer, for example, who's just like I bet he was just relying on his coaches.
He also looks like he doesn't have any pressure on him. He's just I don't know. He's just
Because
vibing.
He's coming
Like,
in
yeah.
from what Amram called the worst Man United side ever, right? Like, and I think Man U fans would take anything at this point, right? And in fact, I'm gonna like kind of aid your argument here. I'm gonna get you want to hear the 5 results that Carrick has had as interim manager of Man United for both teams?
Please.
Yeah, because he was interim manager after Solskjaer too. Right?
2-0 versus Villarreal away. 2-2 draw versus Chelsea.
Oh, good. That was a good Chelsea.
3-2 win versus Arsenal. 2-0 win versus Man City. 3-2 win against Arsenal. So in total, he's won 4 matches, drawn 1, and they're against Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, and Villarreal.
All I'm hearing is a title charge on hand.
I know, dude. Incredible.
But let me tell you something. From what I've seen, with Carrick's style of play, and don't get me wrong, it's also not foreign at all to Man U to perform well in big games where they're sitting deep and playing on the counter. And that's exactly how Carrick's having them play. Now, this shows that Amarim was being a stubborn twat, right? Because all Carrick has had to do is read the game very simply, is that we're going to sit in and we're going to play on the counter. Against Arsenal, they completely played on the counter. Against Man City, absolutely on the counter with a bit of nice tiki-taki football, right? They played some nice...
Wait. What about the tight spaces? And guess what? He's playing Mainu. Like, was it that difficult?
To be honest, it doesn't take a genius. I think anyone could have seen that.
Bro, but you know what? You know the other thing about Carrick, bro? You know what a good comparison to him in terms of his playing career and play style as a player?
Yeah.
Arteta. There we go. They're the same kind of player. I feel like even like with their reputation with the team and everything, like I just feel like there's something there's something there. You have to be one of those like slower kind of controlled players to see the game the way that these guys see
Look,
it.
look.
But
The thing is, we're also
I
The
know
next
Mohamed
great
has
Man
an
U
opinion.
manager, and
I
he's
know
English,
Mohamed
and
has
he's
an opinion.
English. You need to have an English Man U manager. That's what we've learned.
Mohamed, but I know you've been when we had this conversation, you were chatting about a honeymoon. Tell me, is this something you don't like about Carrick's style? Like, is there any criticism, or do you just think these players fall off, or what?
No, it's just like, bro, like this is the same thing that happened with Solskjaer. Obviously, two different managers, but like this guy's coming into a job, right? He's not permanent manager. They can sack him whenever they want. He's got no pressure in the world. They're not fighting for anything. They're gonna just play a prem game every week. It's like they're just going there for vibes. And also like these players, some of them like Mainu and like Luke Shaw. I mean, he's been chilling on the bench for a bit because Dorgu's playing wing back. Like these guys are getting like minutes they haven't had in so long. They're like, I need to prove to myself that I can like play at this top level. Like some players, like they just feel like they need to prove that Amram was making like a wrong decision by not playing them. And like, okay, he might like get some good results. He might be doing some good things at the club, but we will never find out until we realize like if he gets the job, the kind of signings he brings into the club, so the way he wants to play. That's the only way we're actually gonna figure out if this guy's a really top manager.
Right,
So
right,
like,
and I think we talked about like Arsenal's tests coming with Leeds, Sunderland, and Brentford. I actually think Carrick's tests are going to be against the smaller teams. Like
Yeah.
I truly believe that because I've seen Man U go on runs where they've been very bad against the smaller teams, and then they'll sit in against like a Man City on the break and they'll beat them. So I actually think we're going to see a lot about Carrick's style of play and how good he is as a manager when they come up against the smaller teams. Actually, when they're not able to just sit in and counter. But
yeah,
also,
we saw that.
we're also ignoring, to be honest, a bit of like his stint at Middlesbrough, right? Like he ended up getting sacked at Middlesbrough, finishing 10th, right? So it's not like where this is like an unknown like entity, you know what I mean? Like he's had 3 seasons at Middlesbrough, right? It's not like a flash in the pan. Like what if this guy is like Pep? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
sacked him. They sacked him finishing 10th. Like that's not like I don't know.
No, not 10th in the championship.
I know, but like it's,
Yeah,
it's
so
not a huge
they finished
deal.
consecutive seasons 8th and 10th. He had a 46% win percentage. I mean, I don't know much about Middlesbrough, to be honest, but he ended up getting sacked from Middlesbrough.
Yeah, what I was gonna say as well, especially about like Carrick, is that the only reason why I'm giving him credit at the moment is actually what you've said earlier, Amr, about them playing more like counter-attacking, defensive football, the ones that we kind of criticized Amr.
Which is what they have players for, by the way.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
have those exact players, but my point is that since Carrick is doing everything I criticized Amarim for not doing, I'm saying it's enough for me to give him the credit now.
Yeah,
Because him just playing Mainu, him doing this stuff, now, is he the manager to take them long term? No. Maybe not. Actually, I don't want to say no. It's as you said, it's an unknown entity. We don't know what will happen. Even Mohammed brings up a great point that in the long term, you need to wait to see what signings he can do. When he gets actual full contract, then you have to take a bit of a gamble as a Manchester United like club. But I don't know. It's like I'm just saying that for now, it was the right decision to sack Amarim completely, and I don't think anyone
should have happened earlier. Should have happened earlier.
You know what? I'll give credit. It should have happened earlier. I'll give credit to Man U fans. They back every manager. They just do.
Honestly,
At
I have
this
no
point,
problem with Man
you've
U's
had,
fans
like-
just going. They should be saying, "Put the contract on the table. Go for it, man. Like, have some fun."
Bro, they've had so many managers since Sir Alex, and they've all failed. And it's all just gotten worse and worse. Like, what is there to lose at this point? Obviously, they're gonna back every manager. I also don't think, yeah, they waited. Like Amarim became super dysfunctional towards the end, and maybe they should have pulled the trigger earlier. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think you have to now give every manager a fair shot. You know, like you can't just
Fair shot within
firing
reason, in
them.
my opinion. Within reason. Like, I feel like they actually gave Amarim too much time. Like, you guys know this. I've been like, Amarim is the worst. Like, from all these sets of managers that Man U have had, I actually felt like Amarim was playing the worst style of football out of any of them. So, I think and he ended up getting sacked because he called out the board. It was actually embarrassing the way that he got sacked.
Yeah.
It wasn't even footballing reasons.
I think from a
And-
business perspective too, you can't just sack. You You can't just like continuously sack managers.
Right,
Like,
right, of course. If you think he's the guy, but in my opinion, they clearly had like some miscommunication there. He thought he was going to play a 3-4-3. They didn't have the players for a 3-4-3. They didn't back him to buy a 3-4-3 players. Like the whole thing was a shambles. I think the last thing that I have to comment about this is that while CARRICK has given them like more freedom, right? And he's obviously like against Man City, played with pace up top. He started like who did he start with? He started up top. I remember he didn't even start Cunha and Sesko. Like it was Mbuemu, Dorgu, and I forget who was on the left. But it was just pure pace, right? So he's giving them more freedom, and I'm sure he's telling them like, and he's using them in better positions. So Maguire's on the edge of the box, Casemiro's like covering them much deeper, right? This is like all to their strengths. But it is a bit of a red flag, again, and this is what Man U fans will tell you. This is what they've been criticizing for a very long time. That these players, they down tools for managers, and then when a new person comes in, then they turn it back on, and then they down tools again. So, like, Amarim is also not, or CARRICK is not telling Dorgu to twat it in top bins off the crossbar, and he's also not telling Cunha to wrap it around Raya into the bottom corner. You get what I mean? Like, these guys were always good players, and it's sometimes a bit concerning, like how how they can throw a manager under the bus a bit, to be honest.
Yeah. But something I don't like about United is that, like, these results, okay, like, the United fans are going to be happy, but this is temporary, right? Like, I think overall, the board themselves, they need to take blame for this too, because when they signed Amram in the beginning, they knew exactly how he was going to play, right? And then now you see, like, players like Neville and Scholes saying, this is not the DNA of the club. Well, you knew when you were getting yourself into beforehand. The guy was going to play a 3 back into a 5, and you said, oh, you need to back the manager. Like, if you had that stance in the beginning, why didn't you say that from the beginning? Like, obviously, you want to back your manager, but it's like, I feel like long term, like, these owners, I just feel like they don't know what they're doing. Like, they're just bringing in people just to kind of, like, foreshadow, like, kind of just hide what they're doing wrong behind the scenes. Like, even Radcliffe himself, it's like a couple of months ago, he was saying Amram is gonna get a 3-year contract, and then like within a month he gets sacked. It feels so like bipolar and like chaotic. It's not right.
Yeah, man.
Like this is not gonna help.
Look, man. At the end of the day, as long as you're winning, no one gives a toss about anything, right? Like at the end of the day, like if CARRICK wins matches, the Man U fans will be on board. The board will look like a genius. All that will like be under the table.
I'm rooting for him, man. I'm rooting for him at this point.
Hey, man, all the credit to him. He's doing stuff so far tactically spot on, right? Tactically.
Yeah. My conclusion is, though, don't rush into it. Let CARRICK have his till the end of the season. Don't give him no long-term contract. He's not running away, I promise. There's no club right now that's like rushing to get Michael Carrick into a job. You know what I mean? So I also think that Man U, as they've done in the past, I mean, they can have fun if they want to have fun. If they want to give him the contract, give him the contract. If they want to get hyped, they want to get hyped. You know what I mean? If they want to try to hide what's going on behind the board by giving him a 5-year contract, let them be. I'm just saying personally, the best thing Man U can do is just let the 6-month end and just ride it out.
Assess at the end. Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Okay. The last, honestly, I don't know what else we have to talk about.
Drop an Arab segment, dude. We need to get a clip.
Arab segment? Oh my days, sah, bro. Muhammad, just on the pod, we're saying this right now. For some reason, all of our clips that are Arab related blow up, like compared to the Morocco clips at 18K views. The Saudi Arabia quiz clip is at 20K views. And everything's Arab, and this is all organic.
Mohammed, how do you guys feel about Ronaldo not winning a Saudi trophy in 3 to 4 years?
Oh, it's actually poor. It's actually poor.
Bro, honestly,
it's poor, by the way.
Okay, let me say something right now. Nuruddin Amrabat was at Al Nasser, won a trophy. Okay? Let me tell you something about him. So we need to start making some conversations. Is Amrabat better than Ronaldo within his tenure in Saudi? Okay.
By the way, I'm not even joking. This is a longer trend with Ronaldo, yeah? 2 La Ligas. 2 La Ligas. Come on, man.
Came in and made the gap between Al Hilal and Al Nasser bigger. That's what you've done.
You got Joao Felix. You got your Portugal teammate with you there. You got the best African player in the world in Sadio Mane. Yeah.
Sadio
You got
Mane.
Sadio Mane. He's got a whole roster. Yeah. And he
Bro,
still
and
can't.
guess what he's doing? And guess what? He's handing out cake, blood. What's he doing, bro? Go, why you get cake when you win with Al Nasser? Why are you getting cake for Sadio Mane? What's going on? You know what I mean? And end of the day, when you look at the gap that's been created between Al Hilal and Al Nasser, bro, every situation that we see Ronaldo in, he does not lead to long-term win. He can come up big, he can be clutch, but he
In
won't
moments.
be there every single game. He won't
He
be
shows
there.
up in moments. How about the
Shows
rest
up
of the
in
season? How about a 38-game season? How about that?
I don't even know if Saudi is 38 games, but
I don't even
facts.
know. We're putting that up. We're having the comments can debate that one.
Bro, honestly, bro, their team is just wank though. Let's be real. Like, unless they're like, they just are wank. Like,
Bro, honestly, seriously, Amrabat after the AFCON final, I know he was kind of joking, but I swear he was also like proving up. But when he told Mane, you need to now win with Al Nasser, and he was being a bit serious there. He's saying, I won. You're
Bro,
out here with Cristiano Ronaldo, and you can't
Ronaldo gets
win.
paid like 800 mil a year or something, man. How about you win a title?
Genuinely.
well, I'm telling you, yeah, like they just see these guys that come into Saudi League, bro. They just see the numbers and they're like, "Khalas, bro, I'm chilling. Why do I have to fight for a trophy? Like, what is that gonna do to my resume, bro?"
And I can't lie,
Like,
bro.
Sadio,
Al Hilal are currently undefeated. Big up Al Hilal. Alhamdulillah.
Big up Al Hilal. Big up Ruben Neves.
bro,
Give
isn't
me
it
some of that.
Inzaghi's the coach, right?
I think Inzaghi is the coach also.
Yeah, like, bro. The thing is,
Al
Al
Hilal
Hilal,
for the Champions League. Al Hilal for the Champions League.
the Asian Champions League,
No, bring them into the Europe, bro. They'll win it all.
bro. Honestly, their squad is so good. Like, actually, like we got a lot of good players in there, bro. Like,
Dude,
there's a
Cancelo,
reason why they
by the way-
win.
By the way, just a bit off track to Barcelona. Yo, Cancelo. Still Cancelo, bro. He's still
Yeah.
Cancelo.
So offensively, he's out here.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't lie. Getting into the Al Hilal lineup is tough. Like genuinely, like I can't actually believe that.
Theo Hernandez. They got Theo Hernandez at left back,
Theo
yeah?
Hernandez. Are you taking the piss? Theo Hernandez 3 years ago, I would say he's the best left back in the world. I'm being
Fact.
serious.
Like they got Bono in goal as well, like Koulibaly. They've got like
Malcolm, like in his prime.
Milinkovic-Savic. Like,
Yo,
bro,
let me read out Al Hilal's last game and their lineup. Okay.
Bro, deep, yeah? They got a midfield of Milinkovic, Savic, and Ruben Neves. Come on,
Bro,
my
listen
brother.
to this lineup. Listen to this lineup. Actually, wait, no. This lineup, I can't lie, is before lots of the people from came back. But I tell you what, dude, Darwizzi. Let me say one thing. Darwizzi is performing better in Saudi than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Class. We need that one on the pod. That's class.
Listen. In 14 games this season, Darwizzi has 6 goals and 4 assists. Okay. Allah, by the way, I'm about to embarrass myself maybe on the pod.
Yeah, by the way, Ronaldo could easily have more than that.
Yeah, I know. La ilaha illallah.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, Ronaldo has 17 games, 16 goals.
Yeah, then how many pens does
Guess what? 1 assist, bro. Why not pass the ball a bit? Share the ball. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're averaging 38 if you're prime James Harden. Now we're moving to the different thing. If you're not winning, it's not for winning ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the system is too built on Ronaldo. How much you want to, bro? I don't know the stats. How much you want to bet right now? Ronaldo has like 80% of the goals of the club, which is not a healthy way for a club to function.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So,
Fact.
and against the Ta'awun last game, 5 shots, 0 goals, 0 assists. What are you doing against the Ta'awun? Big up Saudi.
yo, shout out Real season, bro.
Yeah,
Guess what? If you want to fund it and you want to start talking good about Al Nasser, we can do that happen as well.
By the way, Ronaldo my goat. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, you can. I promise you, you can buy us off. I promise you.
This is the
Tomorrow.
It's lower than you think. I promise it's lower than
This is the most shameless behavior I've ever seen in my life, bro. These guys are slandering this
I'll
guy.
rename the pod.
Yeah. Man, them aren't watching the full pod. They're watching the clips. Okay?
Facts.
So I can say anything right now. They're not catching it. No. Okay? But
Bruce
anyway,
playing the cut game. He just cut what he wants.
Yeah, bro. By the way, Mohammed, I could clip you into saying some mental stuff. So you better watch
Yo,
out.
chill. Bro, I probably
Bro,
said something crazy as well. I
AI is
already know.
no, AI is powerful. AI is powerful.
We should probably call it. It's kind of
Huh?
going downhill. Probably call that one.
Well, the only other thing that I wanted to say is Barcelona's win against Real Oviedo. A huge win. Literally a win categorized by great pressing. That was two of
Yeah.
our goals were created by that. Lamine Yamal getting a goal for us by pressing. Oh, that also his third goal.
Oh,
Is
also-
insane. Yeah.
By the way, what a guy to kiss the Barca badge, but then do Ronaldo celebration. The guy has some aura. I can't lie. Like, has some aura.
Like in another timeline, people are hunting for him because he has a couple bad games, but now he's picked it back up. You know what I mean? We were worried in the beginning of the season, but now it's an easy win.
Big up Olmo.
Big up Olmo. Olmo only missed. Mohammed, what'd you say about him? This guy only scores what?
He only scores bangers. I can't lie. Like
Only
this
scores-
guy, like if he doesn't score a banger, خلاص, he doesn't play well. It's just Fermin doing something crazy. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's
Like-
also interesting because I wouldn't have been a fan of a Fermin Olmo sometimes on the pitch together. And I mean, usually I'm not because I think it affects the amount of like width that we have within the team. However, the way that they're both performing, it's turning up to enough output that it doesn't really matter.
And big up for me. He's gonna get an improved contract. We're gonna renew him.
Yes, and big up him for signing the contract. I can't lie. Because nowadays, well, it's scary with these football players. These
Bro.
random, they hunt
Bro,
for
we're
contracts.
calling you out. We're calling out.
Dude, genuinely, I think I
Hey.
could take Joe in a scrap.
Bro,
I think I could
Yeah,
definitely.
the pod's getting crazy right now.
he's gonna turn into a new Mariba, bro. We're never gonna hear this guy again.
Yeah.
But-
By the way, we
Yeah,
talked about this last pod.
What's interesting is that apparently PSG paid extra in order to get like a better payment structure.
But they're also good relations.
Yeah.
Bro, they
Bro,
could
they
take
love
Joe,
having
bro.
players.
That guy is not walking into any lineup for PSG. They don't even.
Hey,
They still play with a two-man midfield.
We essentially generated 8 mil out of nothing, the way I see it. Like this guy was a nobody before the season
And
started.
Barcelona, we're targeting like 4 really cheap players. We just signed a player on a loan deal, a fullback from Sporting for Barça B. We have the Egyptian Al Ahly player that we're looking at. We have a player from Genk that we're supposedly approaching. We're clearly going for a structure. I mean, I'm trying to give us credit. They're not acting like we have destroyed finances, but we're clearly going for a structure of signing like much more low key players because we trust in our youth. The youth has only improved, dude.
We got money, but yeah, I agree.
Bro, Amr, you're making it sound depressing. Wallah, you know what Ahli said like 4 mil for the brother, and we're like, we can't.
And they're
afford
like,
that.
oh my god, look at these greedy bastards. It's like, no, bro. You're on
Yeah,
4 mil.
genuinely. Muhammad, has your dad ever talked about this Al Ahly player before? Or not? Do you know anything
Bro, I
about?
asked him about it. I can't lie. He's got no clue who he is.
Yeah,
no clue.
safe, bro. By the way,
Yeah.
we're signing for a player that doesn't exist. I'm telling you right now. We're gonna sign him. He's never gonna make it out of Egypt. He's never gonna get a visa. It's not happening. Man, you can be tidy when you're playing against Real Madrid.
Bro, you know what it is?
I'm a headwind, bro. This guy.
No, that's all I said. That's all I said. I always said it was tidy. That's all I said.
Bro, you know what it is? This guy, every time he colors his hair, he feels like, خلاص, like he's a invincible kind of player, bro.
Until
Like-
one day he gives an elbow to a player trying to run into the box or something.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
just happy, less about his actual performance and more about the fact that I feel like someone told him never slide tackle again because that's what it looks like.
But
That's
there's
like-
training clips of him just taking out random. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe in training.
like maybe they just let him get it out in training. Like you're allowed to scrap here, you know. Bro, it's crazy how long Araujo's been at Barcelona. Like I feel like we don't even deep how long he's been here.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
there's
bro.
a photo of him during the 8-2 on the bench.
Like, do you know how crazy that is? We had him in Copa del Rey game starting next to PK. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
PK, brother, you know. So, let's wrap up this pod because Amr wants to sleep. And
even now it's crazy.
Midnight. It's midnight. What do you mean?
Habibi. Amr, thank you for hopping onto the pod after footy. Thank you, Mohammed, for coming on after a very big defeat for Arsenal, not coming off the biggest stretch of games. You're king.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert, but you know, I'll give my opinion when.
hey,
what we're here for.
Hey, Mohammed, now that you're on the pod, man, I want you in football trivia.
Nah, bro, this is a one-time thing, bro. This is my guest appearance. I need
No,
others.
Muhammad, the
What about
trivia is
window 10?
Anyways, thank you guys for
What if you win the Prem?
If we win the Prem, maybe we'll see.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. It's been a fun pod. Take care. Peace. Goodbye.